an award-winning food entrepreneur.
I know a lot of you wonder what to do with your moon pies. Well, I've got some wine suggestions for you. Lemon moon pies, Sauvignon Blanc, Chenin Blanc, or Pinot Grigio.
Stuart Reb Donald, acclaimed food and
This
travel
Twitter
writer
thing
and
just ignore it.
world-class chef.
Just
Chef
ignore it.
de Casserole.
They want more money to go
Casserole
buy
from the
from Twitter
frozen
now.
food department.
We're live. We're just not on
For
one
more
of
than
them.
a decade, they've combined their
Just
expertise
close it
to
off.
answer your
There's nothing we can
questions
do
and
about it.
introduce you to the culinary movers and shakers you
Give
want
me last
or
one.
ought to know. Four-time Taste Award finalists.
Oh, no, not that.
10-time Nappy Award losers. They
Oh,
are
yeah. We made that
dynamic
destination.
duo of writing.
Whatever it is.
People's Prima Amor, Mike and Stews on FM Talk 1065.
Well, good morning, Stu Rev Donald.
That's me.
Hope you're having a good morning on this moist Sunday morning.
Last day.
Last day of the fishing competition.
Fish and chips.
Fishing competition down in Alpha Island, better known as the Alabama Deep Sea Fishing.
Oh, I did not know.
Anyway, so the largest fishing rodeo in the world,
That's right.
in the whole wide world.
In the wide world.
That's it. It could be the universe too. You never know.
Yeah.
But anyway,
There was a time that we thought those were the same thing.
there's that.
And it wasn't that long ago. Do you know that in 1905, we thought the known universe ended at Neptune? Just that recently, we thought the entire universe was the sun to Neptune.
Where is it now?
Yeah, it is way past Theodore.
So it's past Uranus, right?
Uranus. That is pronounced Uranus.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
Anyway, welcome to the Sip and Chew Show. And what a subject to be talking about. So we've been dropping puns all before the show started, before you got here, Stu.
Yeah.
But anyway, so
Because yesterday was the 50th anniversary of us faking the moon landing.
that depends.
No.
That depends.
Just about the liars
Do you know how we know we didn't fake the moon landing?
I don't know.
Because
Is
we
the moon
put a
made of cheese?
mirror on it so that we could shoot it with a laser and measure the distance. And any university that has one of these lasers can get the coordinates and hit that mirror with it, and it will bounce back to them and tell them the distance. That's how we know we visited the moon. Is we put something on it that we can see from Earth
That makes sense.
and hit with a laser and confirm, hey, we put this thing
I mean, you just can't bounce it off a rock.
there.
Like they do sonar. So,
I was listening to a compilation of moon conspiracies on the way in, and they were talking about the hollow Earth theory or the hollow moon theory.
Yeah.
And they said, here's the thing with the hollow moon theory. Logically, makes more sense than anything else we've come up with. Is that it is the most logical conclusion is that someone somewhere else in the universe made the moon and put it where it is. There's no natural the chances of that happening are far greater than in any accidental happening.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's great. I love it.
but here's the big question: is the moon made of cheese? I mean, for centuries they've been saying the moon's made of cheese.
Yeah.
And if it is, what type of cheese?
Limburger,
Limburger.
clearly.
Very dusty. Kind of dusty, rusty taste.
Yeah.
Oh, like
Metallic-y.
what is that fog cheese that Emmental fog or something like that they sell at Cheese Cottage that has ash in it. Oh, it is so good. It's like a blue cheese.
There are cheeses that have what they do when they harvest grapes. They burn the vines.
Yeah.
And they use the ash from the vines and fill in the middle. They'll put it.
Yeah, this is. I'll look it up here in the commercial break. It is a phenomenal cheese, just phenomenal. But yeah, it has ash in it as part of the component. I bought bread before at a Fresh Market that had bamboo ash in the bread.
Oh.
Phenomenal.
Really?
Oh, really good. Oh, look, he bring it, but my eyes aren't going to get there. Yeah, the Saint Marie, the Valencanet, French cheese, like Maubière. Yeah, I think that the fog is a brand name
Wow.
that we get off of it. But Another good one they have at Cheese Cottage is that Red Dragon cheddar.
Mhm.
Steve would like that one. Steve, the
Humboldt fog.
Humboldt Fog. That's it. God, that cheese is good. And you get
Soft
it cheap.
ripened goat cheese made by Cypress Grove Cheese in Humboldt County, California.
Huh.
Yes. And they've got another cheese you would love.
It's got a layer of edible vegetable ash. That's what.
Okay.
Yeah, delicious cheese. If you're a blue cheese fan, if you like
Well, I've
a
had the
funky
cheese.
cheese,
I've had the cheese with the ashes of grapevines.
yeah, it's probably going to be very similar.
Yeah.
Very similar enough.
Yeah.
But Steve, there's another cheese I think you would love called Red Dragon.
I've heard of it.
It is a cheddar made with English ale and coarse ground mustard in the cheese. It is so good. We've done it at a dinner party. I think I did it at
Kind
one
of
of the dinners
sweet
we did.
and bitter at the same time. Sounds
Oh.
like.
Sour. and
I've
bitter.
had Merlot. I've had Merlot cheese, and I've had steakhouse cheese, and both of those are my favorite is Parmigiano Reggiano. So,
The undisputed king of
Anytime you
cheeses.
start dropping the word Parmesan, I'm game. I'm game.
Parmigiano and Reggiano, it's like
Parmesan Reggiano.
It's like wash your sister sauce.
Which the name Parmesan Reggiano means it originates in the Parma region of Italy.
Right.
There are all kinds of Parmesan cheeses that are made elsewhere using the same, methods,
Mm-hmm.
but they didn't originate in Parma, where they have a distinctive soil that gives them a distinctive grass that the cows eat, and then gives the cheese a distinctive flavor.
Yeah.
That interconnectedness you understand with what is it called, vitinology? Is that what they call the wine growing process? Vitinology, vitinology,
That among other
or
words.
vinology. The interconnectedness of our environment is very obvious in things like that.
Mm-hmm.
In wine,
Yeah.
you know that firsthand. This cheese making. There's a very popular coffee in Wisconsin called bulletproof coffee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what it is made
My
with
sister drinks that.
is a tablespoon of coconut oil and a tablespoon specifically dairy Irish butter. And the reason it specifically has to be that Irish butter is because the all cattle for production in Ireland are grass-fed, period. And that grass gives it a certain note and certain elements in that butter that you can't get from Wisconsin butter or Vermont butter or California butter because the soil is different.
Yeah.
But those things make that bulletproof coffee healthy, incredibly healthy. And you put the tablespoon of butter, the tablespoon of coconut oil, and you just kind of whirl it. And what you end up with is it's creamy coffee. It's in essence, it's like an unsweetened cappuccino.
Yeah.
And because once you do that, you're getting the butter fat, which is what makes heavy cream do what it does in coffee.
Right.
And you're getting that mouthfeel of cream. So it's not going to be like it's buttery tasting or coconut tasting coffee. From what I understand, it just, tastes like coffee with cream in it.
Mm-hmm.
But you can only do it with that Irish butter, and the Wisconsin dairy farmers hate it.
Well, I've noticed speaking of coffees, I just noticed there's so many different brands that are popping up all over the place now. And
We helped launch one back during the Senior Bowl. Remember when I met up with Zach Blackerby, who has sports talk shows on the internet, does radio here locally and all over the Southeast Conference. He and his wife started their own coffee company where you order it on Monday, they roast it, grind it, and ship it to you on Tuesday. So,
Wow.
and the difference is this is as fresh as you're going to get coffee, other than roasting it yourself. Anything you get at a grocery store has been sitting in a can for 3 months.
you can go to Fairhope and go to Fairhope Roasting Company.
Right, which is fabulous. Their coffee is great, and we've got other local great coffee companies like that. What is it? Nova.
Mm-hmm.
They're back off of St. Louis Street.
Right by my house.
Right, and then Carpe Diem's been around forever, and they do custom roasts for different restaurants all over Mobile. We had a custom roast from them at Mars Hill.
Okay.
That nobody else had. It was the Mars Hill roast.
Yeah.
Coffee is very interesting. I'm not a coffee drinker.
I wasn't until I got COVID, and then that's what I was drinking every morning.
I went through a spell where I drank coffee to get going in the morning, and then I just decided, man, if I don't do all this stuff to get coffee going in the morning, I can sleep later.
251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish Social Club call and text in line.
What? I
My
can't read
friend Joe.
Oh, I can't read them over here.
Huh?
I can't read them over here.
But says the Susan Lucci uses hot red.
Each month's issue is filled with our unique Southern Alabama culture, beautifully captured and
I ran
told
into
through
Sean the
engaging
other night
graphics and stunning
at the
photography.
deep sea fishing rodeo.
Subscribe to
See,
Mobile Bay
he gave me
Magazine.
that. I said, how come we ain't got none of those?
Familiar places and faces and untold
We
stories
have
of
a hate for
Start your journey today by visiting mobilebaymag.com.
Yeah,
That's
I think,
mobilebaymag.com.
StreamYard changed
Plus,
something, and
forms
if
and
you want
availability
to do
vary by
stream
state.
to Twitter
Did you know
now, it
life
costs
insurance
extra.
rates are near
And
record
maybe the
lows?
Twitter is
If
charging
you own life
more.
insurance, or if you're thinking of
So
buying
it did that to me
why
last
spend
week.
more
I
than
just
you have
ignored
to?
it. And
Since
YouTube and
1986,
Facebook went, well,
AccuQuote
and
has
all I've
helped
got to do is
literally
just share it to
millions
my
of
YouTube
people
page.
just like you save a fortune on their life insurance. Here's how they do it. They monitor the products offered by dozens of the most well-respected brand name life insurance companies you trust so that you get the lowest rates. For example, a healthy 40-year-old can buy $500,000 of 10-year level term for less than $20 a month. 20 and 30-year rates are also available. Don't forget to ask them about the new term life plans that guarantee your money back even if you outlive your policy. Take 5 minutes and call AccuQuote for your free quote. Call 1-800-318-1787. Find out how much you can save on your life insurance. Call AccuQuote today at 1-800-318-1787. That's 1-800-318-1787.
Every moment counts if you're at risk or living with lung cancer. And anyone with lungs can get lung cancer. It causes more cancer deaths than breast, colon,
That's
and
discriminatory
prostate
against
combined.
people without lungs.
It can feel like a race against time. And while there may be moments where you question your next step, it's essential to know that you don't have to confront lung cancer alone. Through it all,
Get some other people to
Go-To for lung cancer is
with
here for you. From screening, treatment, and survivorship support to finding the right care close to home, we are your community.
The
As
kid
your
was getting out of the
friends, your
hospital
guides,
today.
teachers,
What's been wrong?
advocates,
Heart
your
attack.
supports.
Oh, shit. He had
Go-To
4 heart
is your
attacks.
go-to.
He went to the hospital on the 4th
Confronting
because
lung
his wife
cancer
told him after
starts
surgery,
here.
you don't get a choice in it.
Visit
When the 4th one hit
go2.org.
last Saturday, he
Every
said,
Monday at
I'm not
7,
arguing. We
Jennifer
need to go.
presents Sweet Home
They gave him
Cannabis.
2
Brought
stents
to
and
you
they
by
collapsed. And they
Cannabis
do
in
a bypass.
downtown Mobile, Alabama's
He
first cannabis
said, I feel,
retailer.
he said,
And
my
3
chest feels
questions
so I
of
feel great.
accurate
Don't play with
information
that.
and dispelling the myths of cannabis with guests
Told him,
from
I said,
every
I
corner
said,
of the cannabis
20 years
industry.
he spent
Check
smoking right there. So that's why
cannabama.com
those
and email comments to
veins
info
collect.
at
So
cannabama.com.
it's very common
And
to
join
smokers.
Jennifer Boozer Mondays at 7 p.m.
And then I
for
told his
Sweet
wife,
Home
I said,
Cannabama
you
on
know what to
FM
be
Talk
prepared for you now.
1065.
You know what the symptoms are.
She
They
just
are
stops
the
with it.
dynamic duo of dining. Sip and chew with Mike and Stu. Call 343-0106. Now back to Mike and Stu.
Hey, you know what?
What,
When I'm drinking coffee, guess
Uh-huh.
where I go drink coffee at on Sunday mornings?
I'm going to wager a guess. It's someplace on or about the corner of Fat and Happy.
Absolutely. Bob's Downtown Diner on the corner of Fat Happy, which is North Jackson and St. Francis Street. Yes.
Yeah.
They have good coffee.
But you like their coffee because they've named part of the ingredients after you.
Well, not all of it.
But part of it's named after
I
you.
guess that's part.
The Bailey's cream.
Oh, that's when I have that after the show. I have that after show. Anyway, we want to thank them for helping us stay on the air over here. We appreciate them so much. Great food there, by the way. Great food if you haven't been. And they've been friends of the show for quite a long time.
Yep.
Quite a long time. We want to thank Hall Sausage and Wholesale Meats.
You mean the Nappy award-winning Hall Sausage and Wholesale?
Exactly what I was about to say. Yes. That was
Nappiest
awesome.
sausage in South
I
Alabama.
didn't even see them, but there were so many people there that
Yeah.
so I didn't see them. I stayed through the media and I kind of dosied out.
Yeah.
Dosey-doed
Did you
out.
network any?
No, I saw a lot of people I knew, but we had fun. We had fun. I'll tell you in a minute what wasn't fun. But anyway, so anyway, we want to thank Butch Cassidy's over there in the heart.
The
of
Nappy
Louisville.
award-winning Butch Cassidy's.
Yeah, the Nappy Award, best hamburger,
Yeah.
award winning.
I'll give you that.
And there you go, man. Good job, Roy, and the gang over there. And you know, Roy is a heck of a stand-up guy too, because you know he gave all his employees off for the 4th. And
I thought you meant for the Nappies, and I was
no. He gave his employees off for the 4th and
the week.
the whole week.
Yep.
And there ain't too many employers that do that.
Mm-hmm.
And he paid them too, so that's unusual. But that's a stand-up.
Very unusual in this industry.
Yeah, for sure. But yes, as I mentioned, I went to the Nappies the other night, and I got up to the counter, and I'm thinking, what in the world is taking so long? The line is hardly moving. Well, when I got up there, and of all days to do it, with the internet problems going on around the world,
Yes.
and a lot of credit card machines are down, they only accepted credit cards. They wouldn't take cash. And that just chapped me.
Yeah.
But the beers were $11.
Mm-hmm.
$11 for the beers. And I know somebody, he bought 9 beers for his group.
Ooh.
$99 plus tip. 99 for 9 beers. And I just got one, and it was $11. And then I was perturbed about it. So I gave good, okay tip. I was prepared to give more.
Right.
But I'm just like dumbfounded. Like $11.
Was it domestic?
No,
Oh.
no, but all of them were the same.
Oh.
And
I'm not paying $11 for Bud Light.
Well, listen, let me tell you.
I wouldn't drink Bud Light if you paid me $11.
I was out in the lobby.
$12.
I was out in the lobby talking to my friends, the people I knew, and they said apparently you hadn't been to a baseball game or a pro football game or anything and bought a beer there.
Yeah.
And he's right. He was right, and they were right. How outrageous at a stadium.
Is it outrageous, or is it concession stands charge what restaurants should be charging?
It's outrageous to me.
It's not about what we want to pay.
Well,
that's not what prices are about. They're never about what we want to
Well,
pay. They're about what something costs.
the point that he was making is, I'm lucky I paid $11 because in a bigger city,
Oh yeah.
where they got sports, professional
yeah.
sports, I'd be
Bucks.
paying a heck of a lot more.
Oh yeah.
And I'm just thinking that crazy, because my brother, when they lived in Dallas, he'd take all 3 boys and his wife, and they'd go to baseball games and football games and pay $300 or $400 or $500 to go to a game. I'm going, how? That's just a normal family cannot, an average family cannot do that.
An average family shouldn't be able to do that because that's a luxury. Luxuries are expensive.
People do it
You
every
save
weekend.
up for luxury, right?
People do it every weekend.
Yeah, rich people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
They can afford luxury.
I know a few that they forego vacations just so.
And that's a life choice.
Yeah,
And that
sure
is
is.
their vacation. I hope they enjoy it. I worked with this guy at Hertz years ago, one of the supervisors. Every day for lunch, he had the exact same thing.
Mm-hmm.
2 pieces of bread with 1 slice of ham in it. And we're like, Kevin, you surely make enough money here that you can afford more than that. He goes, when my wife and I go on vacation,
Mm-hmm.
we spare no expense. If we want the filet mignon for breakfast, we get the filet mignon for breakfast. He goes, to me, it's the perfect trade-off because I don't need something different every day.
Did it have condiments on it?
I don't think so.
All right, because I had a good Italian friend, and when we'd go somewhere, and this is when I was in the wine business, we'd pull into a Subway,
Mm-hmm.
and this guy's from Milan, Italy,
Right.
and he'd go in a Subway, and all he would order is plain bread, well, like a multigrain bread,
Yeah.
with a slice of ham and a slice of cheese.
Yeah.
No mayonnaise, no mustard, no nothing. He said, "This is what's wrong with you Americans."
Yeah. You got to
You
slap.
put all that mayonnaise and
Yeah.
other stuff on there, and it's not good for you. And this is healthy.
I will tell you, the best sandwich I've ever had in my life was in New Orleans. That should not surprise anyone. but it was not a po' boy. It was not a muffaletta. It was at Cochon Butcher, Donald Link's butcher shop that he opened to furnish his restaurants with stuff. And he has a sandwich shop out of it. It was the duck pastrami slider. And, you know, I was like, oh, yeah. And this was one of these things, you know, 10 years ago, it was a $13 sandwich with nothing else, just a sandwich. And we come, and what I get is like a grilled cheese sandwich with the corners turned in like you would a club. And visually, I'm looking at it and go, well, it looks like a brilliant grilled cheese sandwich, but I was really expecting more than this.
Yeah.
One thin layer of meat, one thin layer of cheese, and then I took a bite. And it was the most perfectly balanced sandwich I've ever eaten. If you added extra cheese, you ruined the sandwich.
Yeah.
If you added more pastrami, you ruined the sandwich.
It's just a balance, wasn't it?
If you added bacon, you would have ruined the sandwich.
You would only
It
taste
was
the
so
bacon.
perfect.
It was a perfect gastronomic balance.
Yeah. And it was really high quality bread that I'm sure they got at a local bakery there. And New Orleans has lots of great local bakeries. And, you know, just really good butter soaked into the bread. So it was darn near deep fried in it.
Yeah.
And then that thin layer of the duck pastrami and the thin layer of the cheese, which I don't even remember. It had started with an M. I'd never encountered it before. And haven't seen it since.
Duck pastrami.
Pastrami. You treat the duck breast just like you would beef to
That's
make
amazing.
which is part, and if people don't know, pastrami is beef brisket. That is treated two different ways. First, it is corned, like corned beef, which is pickled, so to speak. Then it's finished by smoking it. And it usually has a ton of pepper on the outside of it. An au poivre method, if you've ever had steak au poivre before. And if you haven't, let's talk about that. Because Steve and I were talking about steak last week. But steak au poivre is a steak that is completely covered in peppercorns. Yeah. Which the au poivre is French for with pepper. But that's how pastrami is normally done. Well, Donald Link did the same thing to duck breast that you do to beef brisket. And then thinly sliced it, really thin. Just the most perfect sandwich I've ever had. And we also had some hogshead cheese. The hogshead cheese at Cochon Butcher is just unbelievable.
Let me ask you about, I know you've heard of this, the mortadella.
Yeah, it's mortadella. It's very similar to bologna, and you can substitute bologna, but it has, if you ever see it sliced, it's the one that's got these white squares in it. That is pure lard, pure pork lard, very clean, mixed in it so that when it hits your tongue, it just kind of melts and spreads the flavors. The other prominent thing that's in this is pistachio.
I've heard, I was about to say that I've read, because I just happened to see that was Anthony Bourdain's favorite sandwich. Was the mortadella meat sandwich. And so I'm going today.
Do you know what sandwich we have here on the Gulf Coast that features mortadella?
What?
The muffalata.
Okay.
True muffalata's mortadella sapressata, I believe. And forget, but if you go to Central Grocery in New Orleans, you're going to get mortadella.
Today, after the show, I'm going to buy some of this. And
okay, where are you going?
I don't know.
New Piggly Wiggly? I know Fresh Market sells it.
Yeah.
In their deli. I believe some Piggly Wigglies do.
I've
seen
would
it
think
the one
that
at
one
Forest
would.
Hill.
I would think
Yeah.
that figure, but that's
Yeah,
gonna be my
Publix
first
also
stop.
would have the mortadella.
But I want to stop because I want to try this sandwich. I want to try it. But after the show, I want to get 251-343-0106. It's the Callahan's Irish Social Club. Colin texting line. Would like to hear from you.
Any thought? Pull up a Publix app because they'll make you the sandwich. You can have Colin have them made.
Make it myself.
Oh, I just thought you
As well as an MTV countdown. I'm gonna
I want to make it myself.
What else did he put on?
The ingredients are mozzarella meat, spicy mustard, rye bread, and provolone cheese. That's the only ingredient.
Nappy time.
That's right. You voted for all your favorite bars, restaurants, bands, media, books, and just about everything else during Loudcast's 22nd annual Reader's Choice Awards. We're counting and counting. And
I move a lot of bread and Italian sauce or Italian salami. And then the
Reuben is kind of a red corned beef. Yeah, from the saltpeter that they put in it solely to make it turn thick. Yeah. If you didn't have the saltpeter when you made corned beef, it'd be a ugly curry.
Yeah.
It's just in there.
More aesthetic.
Yeah. So pick up a lanyard today.
You know, I mean, more feeling and aesthetic when you look at it. You know, gray, like, ooh, it's dead. I don't want to eat that. The pink. Oh, why not?
I'll meet them.
I can make an ex-wife joke here.
Saw a show. Daniel Bluth had a show in the early days of high definition television, satellite stuff. It was on the Mojo Network, where he'd do these dinner parties all over the country at restaurants after they closed. And he was doing one in New York, and he brought in these live baby eels, and he made everybody eat live baby eels.
It's time to stop filming.
Really?
Hello again, friends. I'm Randy Bergen, inviting
I'm
you
trying.
to join me, Coach Rick Cleveland, and Coach Mark
Like
Lassie
eating
for
bugs,
the Tops
chocolate.
and Tractors Prep Sports Report. We'll be
I think
coming to
there-
you live
you seen the
from the
pictures
Eastern
there?
Shore Toyota
Nice.
Hyundai
It was in
Studios.
Paris.
2 hours beginning at
Oh,
8 a.m.
he ate escargot.
We'll visit with coaches,
They said,
athletes,
"Oh, you
administrators,
smell
and
it."
more as we'll keep
Over
you
there,
up to
it's
date
called
with all things
escargot.
prep along the
Delicious,
Gulf
wasn't
Coast
it?
and the state of Alabama. Wake up with the Prep Sports Report team this Saturday morning starting at 8 a.m. right here on FM Talk 106.5.
For more than a decade, they are the dynamic duo of dining. Mike and Stu on FM Talk 106.5.
Hey, Stu.
Hey, Mike, they need to update our intro again already. We are no longer 10-time Nappy Award losers. We are now 12-time Nappy Award losers because we lost in 2 categories this year.
Yeah, there you go.
Just like we lost in 2 categories in the Taste Awards last year.
We're winners just by being nominated.
Yep.
So anyway, congratulations to Bill Fitch for getting.
Excuse
What?
me. Is that the wrong sound effect?
Supposed to be a raspberry.
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, it kind of was.
It was.
Hey,
Radio history.
I want to say happy birthday to Lee Conley. Lee Conley is at Bay Breeze Cafe. Everybody on the Eastern, most everybody in Mobile knows Lee Conley. Awesome, great lady. And she works over at the Bay Breeze Cafe in Fairhope. And we want to say happy birthday to Chad Scroggins. He is a World Food Championship participant all the time. That's where we met him.
He's a food
He
champion.
is a food champion too. Awesome.
Anybody that competed in World Food Championships is a food champion. You
There
had
you
to
go.
win something to get there.
There you go. Hey, and also, you know what National Day it is today? It's a fun one.
Hmm?
Ice cream. It's
Oh, yeah.
National Ice Cream Day. Also, you know what National Day it is today?
Wow, that's interesting.
Sure, they
Someone
go there.
doesn't have their stuff muted. But,
And also today is National Junk Food Day.
junk?
Junk food. Day.
Okay, because it sounded like you said junk food at first. I'm thinking
Junk.
like Pop Rocks.
Junk. Junk. I got some of those in my house for some reason. I don't know where I got it from.
I'll tell you, Rock and Roll Sushi at least used to. They may not anymore. They used to make a sushi roll that had Pop Rocks
Yeah,
in it.
yeah.
You don't taste them
Yeah.
because the other flavors overpower it, but then they start popping on your tongue, and it was very cool. It was
It's
neat.
actually called Pop Rock. Get it, rock and roll sushi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pop rock and roll sushi.
Yeah.
That's a great concept. He did a great job creating that environment, that
Mhm.
theme and
I
aesthetic.
used to know him. Sammy
Mm-hmm.
used to work over in the mall. I was working at the Disney store.
Oh, wow.
And, I went to him, and that was his first store. Yeah,
How about that?
he was too cool.
Yeah, I think they run out of album covers.
I think I thought they had run into some trouble with ASCAP or something about using the album.
There was a little bit ASCAP, BMI, copyright, but they worked out.
What name of the name of the items too on the menu? I know they had to change those. quite a
Well, when
bit.
you go in and you license out through ASCAP BMI. What that's for is to license every time that you play it. It covers that. So all your fees go into that. Well, the argument was the covers are separate because it's artist and snap. Now, they went ahead and no, because the artists already covered that when they paid for the artist to do all that. So
Okay.
yeah,
Learn something new every day. Yeah. I like learning something new every day.
Yeah.
So anyway,
It gives you something to forget, doesn't it?
another thing to forget. It pushes something out. I bring something new in my brain and it pushes something out.
I get it.
Well, you were out partying last week,
Mm-hmm.
so I saved this for when you came in.
Mm-hmm.
But I drove out to Hurley based on your suggestion.
And that was Deborah Hodges' suggestion.
Yeah, anything we learn about Agricola, Hurley, that area, we're getting from Deborah Hodges.
Mm-hmm.
Nappy Award winner, Deborah Hodges. And tried Sassy's.
Yeah.
They got two size burgers. You know, Roy does two size burgers. Got a 5 ounce and an 8 ounce.
Yeah.
Or 7 ounce. Their small is an 8 ounce. Their large is a 10 ounce.
Wow.
And I have always thought the perfect ratio of bun to burger is a 4 ounce bun, which is the size Roy serves, that bigger bun, and a 10 ounce patty. So they hit right down the road. I got the Southwestern with crunchy stuff on it and jalapenos like that.
Did it have Pop Rocks on it?
No, it did not have Pop Rocks on it. But I got their loaded potato salad as a side. But I started off, this was the only thing I ate that day. I skipped breakfast, went out there, had that lunch, ate so much for lunch, I didn't eat dinner that night.
Mm-hmm.
But I got an appetizer, the small order of their porker fries. The porker fries are cheese fries that then have pulled barbecue rib meat on top of it.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. They do, in addition to burgers, they
Not
do
the
barbecue
butt,
ribs.
but the rib.
The
Wow.
rib meat pulled on top of it, and then a drizzle of barbecue sauce. Son, that was awesome. And this place, you know the burgers are good for them to be known for burgers,
Mm-hmm.
because right next door to them is another place that only sells burgers. The name means something to me that I think has nothing to do with this restaurant, but it's Lottaburger.
A lot of burgers.
Lottaburger. I'm sure they mean it's a whole lot of burger. But growing up, we had a place on Lot Road that spun the name Whataburger into Lot-A Burger.
On Lot Road.
Yeah. And my grandfather used to take me there because they were the only place in Mobile County that had soft serve ice cream. He went there for the ice cream. Love soft serve.
That's just crazy. I love when people do that. You know, it's like I'm going to Lot Burger to get the ice cream.
My brother says he has found that some of the best burgers you will ever get are in places that specialize in something other than burgers.
Right.
And his example was Bonefish Grill has one of the best burgers you'd ever have.
They
But
do.
who orders a burger there because it's a seafood restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so he's made a point of trying the burger at places that specialize in something other than that kind of food.
Well, that's what happened with A&W, because they had the A&W float. Everybody loved A&W root beer, and you had the A&W float. But man, their burgers, ooh, and their fries and their onion rings.
Well, I was, I like when Russo's was downtown. I'd get the ribeye.
Mm-hmm.
It's Greek, black and Greek style
Mm.
ribeye. I never ate seafood at Russo's. I always got the ribeye. It was delicious.
When I worked for Winsel's, we had a car salesman out on the airport that would come in there, and if I was working, he would order the ribeye blackened, because I was the only one that actually blackened it.
Mm-hmm.
Because most places you get blackened, and this was the standard at Winsel's too, is you just took the blackened seasoning and sprinkled some on top. That's not blackening. Blackening is you completely coat the meat with it, just like you would flour if you're going to fry it.
Hmm.
And so I would put the blackening season in Ziploc, drop the steak down in there, and get it completely coated, and then do some hot oil on the grill and cook it like that. And he almost never ordered seafood. When he came in, it was to drink.
Mm-hmm.
And if he was going to eat, if I was there, he'd have me blackening or ribeye.
Roy's got award-winning hamburgers.
Yep.
But I enjoy seafood.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I do. He's got good seafood.
Yeah. You come in there for the turkey sandwich.
Yeah, coming there for 30 seconds. That's true.
Yeah.
Well, it's good.
Yeah, it's a good turkey sandwich. I'll give
It
you.
absolutely is. Absolutely is.
Have you been to Part de Tralua?
I have not. I mean, it just opened and I've been busy.
Yeah,
I've had a busy
let
week.
them get their sea legs under.
Yeah.
There is nothing that drives me up the wall more than people that will go to a restaurant the first day or two that it's open, and if things don't go right, just swear I'll never go back.
I know.
And I'm just like, come on, they've got to figure it out.
I got like a month or two policy about,
Yeah,
you know,
I usually
if they do a
about
soft
month.
opening, I'm invited to come over for the soft opening.
Right.
Yeah, there's that. But I like let them get their legs under them first and then go.
Yeah, because even if it's some kind of cookie cutter chain,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't matter that they use the exact same floor plan that they've used for 100 other restaurants and the exact same equipment and everything. Every restaurant has its own personality.
Yeah.
I mean, how many SS Steel homes are there in Mobile with the same floor plan? And every one of them's got its own personality.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same way, and you have to learn it. Just, I got this 6i Vulcan stove right here. It gets, 20% hotter than the one we use at the other restaurant. So now I've got to adjust. I can't put the dials in the same numbers because this one, just for whatever reason, burns hotter than the other.
Let me ask a quick question. You're kind of going along the same idea here. Why does it seem like in Mobile that you get a really good restaurant, starts up like that, and then does really well for a while? I mean, we're killers at restaurant in Mobile. It's like they last for 6 months and they're gone.
That's the industry.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Most restaurants, as I have proven, close within their first 2 years of opening. And that's because it's the lowest profit margin industry in the Western world.
I got
A
you.
lot of them make their profits on liquor,
Yeah.
on beverage.
And if you don't sell alcohol,
You're not going to make a
you're
profit.
really struggling. Yeah.
Because my son and his wife came down from Kentucky this past week, and one of the things he was going to do was take me out at hurricanes. Well, hurricanes have been gone now for a couple of years, and I said, yeah, you know what, here now it's a Mongolian restaurant, I think. But he was like, oh man, why? And I said, that's the way the industry is.
Well, you know what Stu just said about not having alcohol, but then you got places like Cheryl's and Sugar Kettle Cafe. They're only open. One of them's just open lunch Monday through Friday, and they're booming all the time. Not open on weekends. And then you got Sugar Kettle in Daphne, and they don't serve alcohol, but they do breakfast and lunch, and they don't have alcohol. And I think they open on Sundays.
So are you saying is that a key open less often
But
and
yes.
get a bigger? Yeah.
But
Yes. Because you're cutting your overhead that way.
That makes sense.
You're not paying people to be on the clock for 5 customers an hour.
Yeah, that makes sense.
they get pretty packed. Yeah, they get
And
pretty busy.
and COVID taught us that too. You notice a lot of restaurants don't stay open now as late as they used to,
Right.
because they found out that closing 2 hours earlier during COVID, they actually were making more money than they were. And I've said it before. You get a table, even if they spend $100, 15 minutes before close is when they show up, so they're leaving in 45 minutes after close. You've lost money having that table come in because you've got to pay the cooks, you got to pay the servers, the bartenders. Everyone has to stay until they're done. And every minute you have someone on the clock after your stated closing time is lost money, 100% loss,
Wow.
because there's no money coming in to pay them.
Right.
Because even if that table came in, you close at 9, they cashed out at 9:45. Officially, that money was made at 9 p.m. because that's when you close. So every minute after 9 p.m. is lost money. Every minute after. So when you condense those hours of operation, you lose those hours where you're paying a bunch of people there on the off chance.
But then it's, that's where you got to make a decision.
Right.
Who do you send home? And then you don't want to make the customer mad because you want them to come back.
Right.
And you don't want them to feel rushed and
Uncomfortable.
to leave uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Just start
Yeah.
sweeping around them and turn the lights on.
And one of the things I thought of is you close your dining room 30 minutes before you close your kitchen. So people that are last minute people, we'll package it up to go. You can take it home and eat it. While we're cleaning up, we can still service you, but you can't bring the crowd in and sit down.
That makes sense.
Because that allows me to get 80% of my staff off the clock.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of restaurants do late night kitchen where they leave one cook in there. And they have a very limited menu that cook and execute by themselves.
Yeah. I like that.
And it's to
If you're
handle
that-
their bar people.
If you're that type of restaurant. yeah.
Right, right. Red Star Tavern used to do that. At like 9 o'clock, we'd cut down to one person.
251-343-0106 is the Callahan's Irish social call and texting line.
Well,
More than 50 years.
Did you
They
hear from the
magazine
Hoover?
showcase the history,
From the
style,
who?
arts, dining, and
David
entertainment
Hubble
that
sending
combines
me
excellence on both
Creole
sides.
Italian
They
muffalata,
feature
ingredients,
sensational
provolone
food
cheese,
and
Genoa
flavors.
salami,
Okay.
olive salad, muffalata loaf with sesame.
Subscribe to Muscle Magazine. You'll be swept into the
That's an
pages
old
where
one.
recipes, familiar places and faces, and untold stories abound.
From the New Orleans
Start your journey
Italian
today
cookbook.
by visiting mobilebaymag.com. That's mobilebaymag.com.
Hey everybody, National Ice Cream Day is Sunday, July 21st. It's also Cammie's Old Dutch Ice Cream's 55th year in business. Cammie invites everyone to her party Sunday starting at 1 p.m. The celebration lasts until 7, so come when you can. There'll be a DJ tent, 2 face painters, Sunshine the Clown, Go Fish, a bubble machine, and of course, great prices on ice cream. It's gonna be huge. The Hall's Mill Shop will be closed because it's all hands on deck at the original shop on Florida Street this Sunday at 1. See you there.
Current rate for service in restaurants.
Current what tip?
This company just got the first ever 5-year
Tip,
price
I
lock
guess you
guarantee
mean.
from Comcast Business.
Well, it's still stuck.
Five
Says
years
current
of
cookie,
exceeded
current
win.
rate for service in restaurants.
5 years of advanced
Current
security.
rank?
Security win.
Great.
5 years of a
RATE.
great rate
Yeah.
that won't change. Our rate ain't changing.
That was a big mortadella.
99.9% network
You're not gonna see
reliability.
one like that.
Oh, no.
It's gonna be the same.
High fives
But
since
what I've
Democrat
seen is like the
James
giant
Banana.
floats.
Mhm.
About
He's got
8-inch.
savings. Dave's feeling it, but it's only
There
for a
was-
limited time, so don't wait. Switch
Yeah.
today.
One of
Ask
those-
how to get
one of the
first ever
DMs sent
5-year
me
price lock guarantee from
picture
Comcast
about
Business, powering
bologna.
5 years of savings, power of possibilities. Comcast
Garlic
Business.
bologna, he got it. People with me. Try to get that.
We used to do it here at farms, take garlic bologna, I think it was back in the 70s. The mall.
Excluding taxes and fees.
Just for my dad to eat on crackers and stuff. So good. Of course, malls.
Daisy
Great
was abandoned by her
Yeah.
family and placed in foster
yeah,
care at 15
That
years
would be
old.
part of any southern charcuterie board I did. If I did a southern
She
charcuterie
thought
board, I
she'd
would do
never have a permanent
Paul's
place to
garlic
call
bologny,
home.
Before I was
uh,
adopted, I felt like I wasn't enough.
country
I had
ham
this
sliced
hole in
thin
my
like
heart, and I
prosciutto,
never knew what I needed
and
to
either
patch that
souse or
hole.
hog head cheese.
But when my mom asked to adopt me, that hole was closed. It feels so normal now to say that I'm a part of this family. I am surrounded by love. I feel safe. And that hole inside of me is gone. I am whole. I'm finally enough just as I am.
The Dave Thomas Foundation for Adoption is changing the lives of teenagers at risk of aging out of foster care. Like Daisy, every child deserves a permanent, loving home. You can help. Learn more at
You do.
davethomasfoundation.org.
To get on the line, call 343-0106. Now back to my guest.
Hey, welcome back to the Sip and Chew Show for the final half, remainder of the show. Yes. I want to thank a few people. I want to thank Bob's Downtown Diner on the corner of Fat and Happy, which is St. Francis and North Jackson Street. We want to thank Hall's Sausage and Wholesale Meats. Nappy Award-winning Hall's Sausage. And we want to thank Nappy Award-winning Butch Cassidy's. Oh, we got to say that Bob's Downtown Diner too. Nappy Award as well. So all great people, fun people, great staffs. You want to hang out in these places.
Now, Sip and Chew with Mike and Stu, not
Susan Lucci.
Susan Lee.
It's kind of scary right there.
Who is this?
Cookie wants to talk about that mortadella. She wants
Oh,
a, Cookie
okay.
wants a big old loaf of mortadella to sit down with and just gnaw on while she watches.
No, that's not why I called, but it is, hey, who can ever, why would you turn that down? You know, I mean, whether somebody sings it to you, even if it, I don't think it was off key, I hope. But first of all, the greens thing, there's something that's very overlooked for people, particularly if you want to just grow it in a pot on your patio, if that's what you got, and but you want to just pick a few leaves to put on a sandwich or something once or ever, you know. It doesn't take up as much space as the big vining one. This one is called purslane. It's I believe it's a native plant, and but you gotta make sure you get one that's edible because they're not all edible, but they are semi-succulent, and they are very easy to grow. In fact, you have to beat them back, kind of a thing. And I've given some away, but I'm just amazed how many people don't even know about it. Now, I will caution you, once they put up these beautiful little stalks with tiny pink flowers that turn into, with a golden center, do not take them inside because they are shatter sowers. They will sow all over your drywall.
Oh.
And no, but leave them out on your porch or leave them out on your patio. You know, it's like, or just cut the stalks off, you know, if you don't want them to come up, you know, and don't want them to continue to grow, and give them away to somebody else so that they can, because they can just toss them on the ground. They're teeny tiny little seeds. You can just toss them on the ground. You can toss them on the ground around some of your other plants, and they will come up, and you can eat them, and you can enjoy them, right?
Excellent.
You had a question about the current rate for service in restaurants?
Yes, that's primarily what yes.
You mean like tipping?
No, I'm talking about the current rates.
Pay rates?
For the plural for cooks, waitrons. Look, when I wrote a manual for the staff, you know, I was going, okay, well, what do y'all think we should say? And they said, waitrons. Waitrons, cooks. Now, managers, of course, are set, and assistant managers, yada, yada, are all corporate. But what currently in Mobile and the Mobile surrounding area are the rates for servers, as I think it's called now, and cooks, and I don't know whether it's still called porters or not, people who do the cleanup.
Most of the time they make the cooks do that.
In the kitchen.
Yeah, in the kitchen.
You have to look at balance sheets on that.
Yeah, but your cook pay around Mobile, it's lower than it should be. It's somewhere between $14 and $16 an hour. If you're at a busy restaurant these days, 18 and up is what you should be paying, but Mobile tends to underpay on that. Servers remain at $2.13 an hour.
Wow.
Have not changed since 1994.
That's crazy.
And that was when they were given a raise to $2.
I know some restaurants that pay more than that.
Yeah, very few.
But all they're required is the
$2.13. Yeah. I don't.
Never get buried for that, Daniel.
But you make tips.
Yeah.
They rely on tips. That's where they make their money.
Yeah. And when the federal government went to that mode, essentially what it did is it made tipping the law. You have to tip. But in the infinite winds to put in. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
There have always been complications. There have been places that were like one of the first places that I worked in, where as long as I had less than, I think it was 6 or how many? It was a very few tables. That if you ran the counter and you also served the tables, which were less, they were much less than 10. That probably were 6 or maybe 8. It was okay for them to pay you less than $3 an hour, and there were no tips. there ain't no tips in a damn, I'm sorry, excuse me, in a fried chicken or a,
No, right.
comparable place. Okay?
No, not there, no.
And honestly, there shouldn't be tips if you're not receiving regular table service. A lot of to-go places put tip jars up, and I throw to them because I know that people need it, but at the same time, you're not doing me anything.
You just turn the little screen around.
Yeah, so that I can sign it. And the only reason they put the tip jars up is because the owners have that's basically an owner admitting to you, I don't pay them enough. So I'm going to let them put this up here. Yeah. Yeah. Well, none of them ever do. That's why I say they're essentially admitting that they don't pay them enough. And it's because if you try and raise the prices on food to where they should be, people lose it. Now, I brought the example up before. If you pay $10 for a sandwich at a restaurant, the restaurant makes $1. If you pay $10 for a pair of socks at a department store, the store makes $9. It's just restaurants are not profitable. And people think that the price on the menu should only reflect what the price of the ingredients are. And that's a very small percentage of what it takes to get that meal on your table. So the standard model has been you take the price of the ingredients, multiply it times 3, and that's ridiculous. It should be at least multiplied by 5.
Well, and you look at what the grocer industry is saying also. I mean, the profitability on that is.
Oh, they don't lose money in grocery stores.
It's amazingly surprising. So.
Yeah.
Even if it's corporate.
Right. Yeah, they don't lose money at grocery stores. They don't.
Well, the markup is
because restaurants buy products from a wholesale distributor, but it's only like 10% off of what you would pay at a grocery store. It's a minor difference.
Cookie, thanks for your call today.
Yeah, we got to get, don't we?
So anyway,
yeah,
huh?
So we got to get, don't we?
Yeah, we got to
pretty close.
Be going. The sun's coming out. It looks like it's going to be a nice day. Rest of the day, hopefully.
We'll see. It's supposed to be 70% chance of rain today.
All right, maybe tomorrow,
and Tuesday, and Wednesday.
I ain't worried about tomorrow.
But
I just worry about the next 5-6 hours.
Yeah, I would not count on it.
Folks, get out there, support local, be local, buy local, tip well, servers earn your tips.
And Mike, what cheese comes on a muffaletta?
Well, today I'm going to buy some provolone.
There you go.
Bye.
Yeah, we want to end it.